And it's fair to say I've missed you guys. All we need to do is know what it is that we want. It's basically going to be me and a moon. Honestly, I used to be a right little pocket rocket. Hello, you beautiful beings of light. I hope you are all well. And I just thought I would jump on and do a very quick video um, from somewhere where obviously I've had to blur my background because, as you can see, I've got a mirror here that amplifies where I am. And you guys know, I'm a little bit overcautious about this stuff after a few things happened in previous trips. So apologies for the blurred background. I know you guys really don't like it. I know a couple of people have gone, oh, just show us where you are in the past. But I hope you guys realise by now that this is actually for my safety. So I am on my way home to Europe after what I thought would be maximum 3 months of being away, and I've already been away 4. So, but I am on my way and I am making my way back, and I am so super pumped. Today, I had the option whether I went and did, I finished up everything that I needed to do yesterday. But I had the decision, look, just go out and enjoy yourself or just kick back and chill. And I was like, you know what? I haven't really sat still much in the last few months. So I decided to have a day being still, being present, meditating, going to the gym. I mean, what even is that? Obviously, when I was in Australia, I was able to go to the gym and do my Pilates. But today I did a really, really, really good weight session, and I feel so good for it, ladies and gents. I really do. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to jump on and do a quick video, and then I can cut it at the airport before I fly on to the next destination. It has been wild, ladies and gents. It has been full on. It has been jaw-droppingly beautiful. It has been, I was actually explaining to my team a few days ago that I was just in awe of where I've been called to go and the beauty that I have witnessed through my eyes. I've traveled to a lot of places and I've seen a lot of things, and my goodness gracious me, every time I leave to go on another trip, whether that's a long wander or a short wander or whatever, I just get humbled so much by this experience that we get to enjoy. I'm not saying it's all love and light and fairies and unicorns. I'm not saying that at all. My goodness, like I meet some really interesting people on the road. I get met with things that you're just like, oh my God, I don't know how the heck I've got myself into this situation. So I don't want to paint a false view of, it's just all love and light and everything just goes really, really beautifully well, because it doesn't always. But what I have witnessed over the last 4 months, and I know what I am about to witness, it's just magic. And we get to experience this. And so I guess today, the reason I wanted to jump on was, just to have a little bit of a catch up with you guys. I know that I missed Lucy Davis Live on Monday, which I was doing really well. I was being consistent for a little while, and then I missed it. So I apologize for that. But this video will go out at some point this week, and hopefully it will go a little bit of a way to make up for it. And in a few weeks' time, I will be back going live. I'm going to probably do it on a Sunday morning or at some point on a Sunday, so most people can be around, or I'll do it late in an evening so Australia can be around in their morning and America can be around in their like afternoon/morning. So just so we can get as many people on as possible. But I will confirm when that is going to be. This 5 p.m. UK time slot doesn't work consistently for everyone around the world. So we'll have a little look at that. And it's fair to say I've missed you guys. Like, I am ready to get home, and I'm ready to see my friends, and I'm ready to see my family, and I am ready to bring it to Soul School in Spain. Now, we've only got a couple of spaces left on the retreat. It is shaping up to be so beautiful. So let me explain something, because a few people have been asking me a lot of questions. So my vision for Soul School, when I first got it in 2018 was that we were going to be in teepees. We were going to be outside barefoot on the land, and it was going to be kind of like music and much more of a chilled ambiance rather than when you guys come to soul school and I help you break through and it's like da, 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 we're doing this, we're doing that, like, right, meditate, breathe, do this, like, because as much as it is 2 days or a day of going completely inward, it's still bloody intense on the body. And I'm not even going to pretend that it's not. The name, like all of my programs, the names lure you into a false sense of security, but none of them are pleasant. They're all, if you want to break through, then come and do them. But, I've known big, burly men not be able to cope with it. I've had people in the past in the military, and I've got some new people working with me, obviously in the military, and they think what I do is much more challenging than being in the military. So I was just giving you a bit of an insight there, because a lot of people do go, oh, I wish I could do. And, very recently, one of my best girlfriends said to me, like, I've done so much work, Lucy, over the years, but never did I imagine that you and your program did this, because she's actually going through it this year. And she's having massive breakthroughs. So I just want to send some massive love to the whole of the Self Love Club community. And I just want to send love to anybody that dips into any of my work, whether it come along to the seminars, comes along to the retreat, or whatever it is that you do. I just want to say thank you so much, first and foremost, for coming along and trusting me with your very beautiful soul. But also fair play to you for actually being willing to do the work, because there are so many people out there that aren't. I don't need to do the work. You're the problem, not me. This kind of attitude. And a massive thread of the energy that is coming in around the full moon, and the energy that we're going to be in after the full moon, is very much a humbling experience. It's not about I'm better than you. And this is, oh God, I feel like I could just talk to you about a million different things today. The spiritual ego is really being is the word attacked right now, or is it collapsed? I can't, you'll get what I mean the more that I talk about it, but just know that that's kind of what I'm talking about. So there's a lot of people out there that are kind of like, oh, I'm better than you kind of thing in the spiritual world, or I call it the spiritual world, because that word doesn't really resonate with me. It kind of makes me cringe a little bit. So, but you guys get what I mean when I talk about it. So I actually feel right now that there is this massive ego thing, and a lot of people have jumped on the spiritual bandwagon because of what happened in COVID. And I think now people have realized that the whole truth thing, that's kind of like, it's kind of gone now. So people are jumping on the bandwagon of, oh yeah, let's do plant medicine. And like literally anybody's out there doing plant medicine now, rather than it being what it was designed to do, be very respected through ceremonies and things like that. So just be very aware of this. I'm not saying I'm against it, guys. I'm just saying be very aware of it. I personally wouldn't do ayahuasca anywhere around the world other than the one place where I did it, which is in the Amazon jungle. Why? Because in the Amazon jungle, God forbid, if something goes wrong, there is an antidote. So for me, it makes logical sense to do that. Go to where the earth knows it to be it to be true. That's just my own perspective, guys. I'm not saying you need to listen or any of that stuff. I'm just sharing my perspective, because people always ask me my perspective on things. So there is this real shift at the moment to kind of like humble people into recognizing that we are all one of the same. I bring a gift of amazing connection to source, but I just share it through day-to-day life. I don't sit there and go, right, you need to be in this position and you need to do this and you need to wear these certain clothing. Like, people meet me and they're like, but you're so normal. And all my friends would be like, there's nothing normal about her. But I am normal. I don't sit there with a white turban on my head, and I don't say you've got to practice this and you've got to practice that and don't do this and don't, like, I'm just normal and I'm living my life. And this is the beautiful thing. All of us, we have such amazing gifts hidden inside us. It's just we need to be remembering, and this is part of the humbling process. As I've said in the full moon video, and if you haven't watched it already, please do go and watch it. It is massive. The energies are massive. This isn't going to stop for a few months, so you may as well get to grips with what is taking place. It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, it's going to be feisty. It's basically going to be me and a moon. Just kidding. I'm not so feisty as I used to be. Honestly, I used to be a right little pocket rocket. And these days I'm very, involved in my work. But other than that, I'm just like, chilled as a bean, really. And I have to be because of the kind of work that I do. So recognize this kind of sense of where you what's the word I'm looking for? You're kind of looking for validation right now. Oh, aren't I great? Or why aren't I doing that kind of stuff? And, it's very interesting. It happens to every single one of us. And if there's anybody out there that says, oh, no, that doesn't happen to me, I don't think you're being honest with yourself, because we all have moments where we're like, wow, that's freaking amazing. And I'm really happy for that person. But like, when's it going to be my turn? Let me know in the comments. Have you ever had this with your health, with your relationships, with, your career, the promotion? Like, look at your life and ask yourself the question, have you ever had that? Have you ever had that experience? And I always truly believe that, we're all here to learn some gorgeous lessons. And, somebody who I've known a long time, who was very, very close to me, always used to say to me, like, Lucy, you're here to learn patience. You're here to learn patience. And I actually think that there's quite an important story of that. I really do. Now, I was very successful in my career on the trading floor, very successful. Like people would hunt me out. I was headhunted from Goldman Sachs. I was headhunted from all these other banks because I could do things and get results in places where people couldn't get results. Now, that's not me blowing smoke up my arse, because trust me, there is nothing that I would want to do going back there. However, this is what's happening in every area of life right now. Like, I used to be very good at that, and people obviously are coming out of what are not their passions and their purpose anymore, and they're stepping into new things, and they're like, why am I not as successful in this as I was back there? I've had a couple of people recently reach out to me, and they're like, I want a business like yours, Lucy. I'm like, fabulous, well done, amazing. How long have you been working at it? Yeah, 6 months, and I can't get any clients. I'm like, wow, did you know my business is 10 years next year? No, I didn't. Yeah, this is 10 years in the making, what I have achieved. Now, some people do it really quickly, and some people lose it really quickly. So it's all about, like, if you can find something as a hook to get people very quickly now, because it is very aligned with you right now, or aligned with the world right now, then you will build a business very, very quickly, but it will not be sustainable, because as soon as that thing has been dealt with, all of a sudden you will have no business. And so this is something that I am extremely passionate about. I have never done business in the right way, but business has worked really beautifully for me. It really, really has. And I'm very, very proud and very grateful. And I truly believe that this is because of my association and my relationship with abundance. Now, I'm not just talking financial abundance here, ladies and gents. I'm talking about abundance in its entirety. So abundance could be health. Abundance could be love. That's my favorite subject. Abundance could be relationships. It could be money. It could be financial. It could be material. It could be, I have to buy every type of car, or every type of camera, or every type of motorbike. And that's my abundance. And my abundance is service to humanity. Like, please, just I am so keen to serve. This is what I love to do. I love to create things that help people become the best version of them and get connected to their passions, connected to their purpose. To me, this is abundance. And if I can share my gift and this thing that I have built inside of me, which is all about abundance and living a life of abundance, if I can share that with people, then what an amazing gift to give to humanity. That's my thought process on it. Now, obviously, you guys are not in my head. You guys are not in my heart. You guys don't walk in my shoes. So you've got no idea what goes on in my life other than the bits that I'm willing to share. Nobody knows. So I can't just say to you, look, this is my toolkit to do this. What I can do is I can show you and I can guide you, and you can go, this resonates with me, or that this doesn't resonate with me. And this, my friends, is how we are going to really step out of this I can't think of the word that I'm looking for, this humility exercise that we're going through right now. Like, I've got this piece of the puzzle. Why don't I share this piece of the puzzle with you? You bring your piece of the puzzle in, and let's partner. And I don't mean literal partners, whether intimate or business, but I mean, hey, I'm really good at this stuff. You know, I don't know if you guys have heard, but I'm actually really quite good at meditations. We seem to create mayhem off the back of my meditation. So, you know, it could be that I bring meditation to the party and somebody else brings something else to the party. And, you know, but what's happening, and this is what I mean by this is the example I'm giving, people are going, well, why are her meditations so powerful? Like, why is everybody saying that she's turning the sky pink or whatever? It wasn't me that said that, by the way, it was Gaia. But my point is, rather than people going, wow, this is really cool, well done for doing that, how did you do it? My answer would be, I've got no freaking idea, because it's not me, I'm just a conduit. But my point is, it would be like, right, how can I learn from you? How can we make this experience that I'm attempting to create better for other people? And this is what I'm talking about right now. We are going on a journey whereby partnerships are really amazing, bringing different skill sets into a community, and that's really what I'm talking about here. We have such a huge amount of divide going on with medical choices, with even food choices. Like, I logged into my social media this morning, like I've not been on there much recently other than to share stuff, but I logged in this morning, and the first thing that I saw was people arguing about vegetarian, vegan, plant-based versus carnivore. And I'm just like, okay, let's stop with this. I don't understand why we have to become so right with what food choices we make. Like, I don't get it. My choice, and people get really cringy around me, my choice is I don't eat meat. Now, my choice is based on the fact that my body literally does not process meat well. It makes me feel tired. I feel heavy. I'm like sluggish, and I don't have like any amount of the energy. Now, the next person, one of my best friends, she's a meat eater, and she feels rough if she eats too many vegetables. So do I sit there and go, well, you're wrong? No, she eats what she eats. I eat what I eat. I don't care, as long as you feel the best. And I do care, actually. This is grossly unfair for me to say that, but I don't care on your choices. What I care is, whatever food choices you are making, please go and buy the best possible quality that you can, whether it be from a private farmer who you know doesn't use herbicides, pesticides, and all the other crap, or if it's, you know, grass-fed cows that get massaged. Like, I don't really give a damn what your diet looks like, as long as it works for you and you've actually sat and thought about it. And does this feel good to me? How do I feel before eating? How do I feel during eating? And how do I feel an hour after eating? Like, that's my question all the time. Lucy, how are you feeling in this now moment? And this will tell you a lot, but we don't do that. We just do what we're supposed to do. We eat the things, we listen to the people. Now, I wouldn't listen to anybody that doesn't have the body that I want, just so you guys know. I wouldn't. No way. Like, there are people out there that are like grossly overweight, both vegetarian and meat eaters. So I'm not siding with either here. They look grey in their skin. And there is no way that I'd want to follow these people's diets, because they look like don't look well. So I'm not going to follow that. What I am going to do is I'm going to look at who's got the glow. And you know what I mean about the glow. I don't. Why on earth do I want to do something that's going to give me a pot belly? I'm not being critical here. I'm just being really honest from my perspective. And I know I trigger people when I do this stuff. Like, this is my perspective. You know, like, I don't resonate with, like I used to. I used to resonate with the real lean, mean fighting machine body. Why? Because I was a fighter. Now I like my curves. I like it. I like feeling feminine. I like having boobs back, you know. Sorry to touch them on a video, but you know, I do. I like having my boobs back. I like having a bit of a butt, you know. So I'm not going to go and like follow somebody's diet who is, you know, who is a very lean, mean fighting machine. So I guess my point of this is, like, we can be abundant in every single area of our lives. All we need to do is know what it is that we want. No, that's it. People say to me often, and I mean at least once a day, I get somebody that I've never spoken to before message me and say, how did you get your gifts? Like, how did that happen? How do you get so connected? How do you know where to go around the world? And the answer is, there's only one answer to this. I started loving myself. I figured out what worked for me. And interestingly, a lot of it, when I went vegetarian, a lot of it came online. Now, I'm not saying that's for you, but I feel that's because my blood works best with vegetables. My energy works best with vegetables. So I just want to throw that out there. When you are so clear on who you are and what you are and your standards, like I say, I've dated meat eaters. I've dated, people that don't eat meat. And in all honesty, like I've only ever had one partner that's sat there and said that I was really awkward to feed. And I'm like, nobody has ever said that to me. I will go to any restaurant, any place, and find something to eat. Do you know what I mean? Even I went to a like a steakhouse where literally it was just me, and still I found stuff to eat. Do you get what I mean? Because I'm not going to limit myself. I just go, yeah, cool, I'll eat that. It doesn't mean I need to eat meat to fit in. It just means I'm willing to go wherever, but I just have to be flexible in my choices. And I ask for a bit of this and I ask for a bit of that. And yes, it might be annoying for the people that I'm with, but they're not the ones having to do it. So it's very fascinating. It tends to annoy more people what other people do if than you, if that makes sense. So for me, like I say, I'm good with whatever people do. When people come to my program, they're going, oh, Lucy, you're not going to like it, I'm a meat eater. I'm like, does meat make you feel happy? Does it make you feel good? Does it give you energy? Well, then good for you, keep eating it. And they're like, what? Didn't expect that from you. And that's just one area of life. But then we look at like relationships. How many of us sit down and actually recognize what it is that we want from a relationship? I have got no idea why I'm going off on this tangent, by the way. I hope you guys find this useful. I'm like, well, if I ended up talking about this stuff, I'm sure I started talking about something else, but hey ho. So let's look at relationships. How many of you sit down and have a conversation with a potential partner and be like, where do you see that? What do you actually want for your future? How do you view a relationship? What does love mean to you? Like, do you want to have children? Those questions tend to come like a year or two down the line, right, when you're kind of really in it. So it's really important that you get clear on who you are and what you would like, so that you can have these conversations, so that you can actually put yourself out there with your shopping list so the universe can deliver it. I love it when I come on for just a ramble, don't you guys? Do you miss me? I miss you all very much so. So, ladies and gents, I'm actually just starting a brand new Facebook group. Cringe, I know. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a minute. Come back, give me that in a minute. So I'm starting a new Facebook group, and it is all about abundance. I basically put out about a month or so ago now. I'm going to do something in 2025 around abundance, and I'm talking health, relationships, money for sure, business, and I just said to people, look, if you want to be like in a focus group, then join a waiting list. The waiting list is in the description to this, by the way. And we're going to create a Facebook group. So I've created the Facebook group now. My assistant's going to be so happy with me and so proud, because she's kind of like been, yeah, when do you want this to go out? I'm like, yeah, I've not done the group yet, not done the group yet. So what we're basically going to do in there, I've created something very special, and I am going to have a focus group where we can start trialing bits of what is going to be created, so that we can start making a difference in this world. Because to me, one of the key fundamentals of New Earth has to be abundance. And the only way that we can all be abundant is we recognize why we've held ourselves back from abundance. And it could be something as simple as your mum was always sick when you were young, and you just don't think that you deserve to be healthy. You resonate with the fact that, oh, my mum, my savior, my goddess, she was always sick, so it's just me. Like it could be something as simple as that, where we just need to figure out where that is, and then we can unpick that, we can free it, and actually then the abundance of health can come in tenfold, because I think this is what it's about. Likewise, people don't have relationships with money. I don't get that. I'm not the kind of person that spouts about my money all over the place, but I am very comfortable and confident with my money. I respect money. I spend money. A lot of people, like my mum, for example, she doesn't like to spend money. Why? Not because she's a tight ass, but she's concerned about um, me, my sister, and the two stepchildren, obviously my stepdad's children, and looking after us in the future. And I'm the one that goes, just go and spend it. Don't worry about us. Go and enjoy yourself. Travel the world. For all I care, go live on a cruise for the next year and just, really enjoy every moment of your life. But she's not that person. She wants to make sure she's leaving, something to support us all. Now, that's not me being right or her being right. And it doesn't matter what anybody else's opinions is. It's just the way that it is. So if you've been around that, maybe you're like, well, I shouldn't spend money because I've got to look after people. Maybe I shouldn't spend because of, and I actually view it as like to spend money, you receive more. So a bit like when I get you guys journaling to empty your mind, then new memories come in. It's the same principle. You've got to have this relationship with it. So if you want to join that group, it's absolutely free, by the way. I am going to be running a seminar on this in March 2025. So if you want to come along to that and you're in the UK, please mark that note in mark March in your diary, because hopefully I'll be able to share that date super soon. And we're really going to go deep on this. We're going to really, really look at the limiting beliefs. We're going to look at, where we are in relation to all of like the spiritual and the consciousness stuff that I do as well, because it's very important that we link it all. You guys know I'm here to shift consciousness. You know that I'm here to do that, but I'm also very much about just changing your mind to work from your heart, to program your mind to go and create what it is that you need to create and bring it in. Like, this is the fundamentals of what I do through all of my programs. So I'm just looking at how I can do that in a much easier, cheaper way, i.e. doing a seminar for people. So yeah, that's kind of a bit of a plan that's taking place with that. Now, I've got an example. I've got a gorgeous guy. I'm not going to say his name. If he decides to comment on here, that's absolutely fine. And if, absolutely, but I'm going to be quite high level about who this person is, because I haven't got his permission to share ins and outs and obviously say his name. But I've got a client who is on the Self Love Club membership program, and he openly has had a relationship with cannabis for a very long time. It's been his crutch. It's been his go-to to suppress and just kind of make himself feel better, I guess. Like, why do people go and smoke other than medicinal purposes? So yesterday, or the day before, I'm a bit lost with days, we get a message in the Facebook group, or it basically goes into a folder, and then we approve it. And I read this message, and he basically said, oh my God, I've had the biggest epiphany. I've been using this as a crutch to suppress my emotions, and I've actually stopped it. And I think he said he stopped for 2 weeks. So he obviously didn't want to come in and be like, hey, I've stopped after a day. He obviously wanted to give it a bit of time. And this is what I'm talking about, the spiritual humbling that's taking place at the moment. We're all recognizing that we have suppressed ourselves. We've held ourselves back. We've done things that perhaps haven't served us in the best way that we've needed them to. And we are now taking the shifts. So that person knows who they are. We've all cheered you on big time, but I think it's a really great example of what is possible right now. If you recognize the abundance is within you, if you recognize that you actually deserve, that self-love is the answer to every single problem that you have, no matter what, whether it's with your partner, whether it's with your kids. If you come back to self, let me tell you straight, you can heal anything in your life. It's a really important time we're living in. Our spiritual hygiene must be increased. We must recognize that all of us are going through humbling. I've had a couple of hissy fits recently. Let me tell you straight, like not outwardly, but internally, I'm like, I actually had a conversation with one of my best friends yesterday. I woke up yesterday morning, and I just took a moment, which I haven't been able to do for a while. And I just sat there on the edge of my bed in this beautiful hotel, and I just looked around, and I just was like, I'm so proud of you. Like, how many people do you know would bounce around? I've done 95. This is either the 95th or 96th country that I'm in right now that I've done in my lifetime. But how many people would you know that would just get on a plane, no idea the what, the why, the how, but just trust that everything was going to be okay? And you get validation through governments, through the mainstream media, through all of this stuff as to the work that you're doing and the energies that you are shifting by doing this. And I just sat there for a moment and I was like, and it was just a private moment. I was just like, Lucy, soul, whoever you are, I am in awe. And later on, when I spoke to one of my girlfriends, I said to her, you know, I've realized today how proud I am of myself. And in all of these years, I've never given myself as much credit as I did today. I've listened to the nonsense. I've listened to the bullshit. I've listened to there's no freaking way she could turn the sky pink. There's no freaking way. Twice. Twice we've done it. And that doesn't even speak about all the other stuff that's gone on. And I'm like, why have you ever listened to anybody else? Like, you know, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, like, you know, and just be really proud of yourself. And then later on, same day, I've got another friend, very dear friend, saying to me that she wants to have a meltdown. And I'm like, whoa, I've had quite a sensitive day today. And, you know, I'm in this feeling of being really proud with myself. And I just said to her, hey, I can be your friend today, but I can't be your coach today. You know, and I was like, I just physically can't take anything on today, so I'm absolutely good with being your friend if that's enough. If not, you know, let's speak later or let's speak tomorrow when I just feel like I've got my energy up to support. And you know, and this is the beautiful thing, you don't need to be like, I'm not in the mood for you today. You can say it really gently and really calmly and really kindly, but put really healthy boundaries in place, because you know what, guys, not every day that we're on our game. And this again is about being abundant. It's about being like, you know what? I know how much I've got in me, and I know I've only got a little bit left, and I've still got to get on a flight, and I've got to do this, and I've got to do that. And you know what? If your friends love you and if your friends get it, they'll never judge you for it. You know, what I tend to say to people is, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious is this? 10 being like emergency. And it's like, no, I just want to have a chat. And I'm like, okay, good. Well, then we can chat. I just can't take anything on today. And do you know what, guys? If you're vulnerable and you're loving and you're kind and you're considerate, then people will realize, wow, this person really cares about themselves. They've got a lot of love for themselves. So I maybe can learn that piece of abundance from them. I don't know what I've spoken about in this video, ladies and gents. I just feel as if I've gone all around in the houses and all around the circles. God knows what I'm going to call it, but you know, waffling with Lucy, maybe. Anyway, I'm going to have to go. I've just looked at the time and I am actually going to have to go because I've got to get out of here. So I hope this has made some sense. I hope this has given you something to think about. My advice to you guys is if you want to come and join us in the Facebook group, please do. You're going to need to join the waiting list, then you'll get the link for the Facebook group. The other thing that I was going to say is just before you join that, or before you come in March, or, you know, just have a think about what areas you actually are living in lack. Like, what areas is it? Is it friendships? Is it money? Is it health? Is it like, what is it? Is it lack of self-love? Like, look at where it is that you have got this disconnect with the abundance that you deserve. And because that's going to be a really good starting point, it's really, really going to be able to help you with what we're going to do. Okay, my gorgeous beings of light. For those of you that are like, I want those last 2 spaces for Soul School, check out the description field of this video. There is a link there. You can also email support@lucydavis.com and my beautiful assistant will help you. Or just don't reach out on my social media. I'm getting hundreds of messages and it will get lost. So please don't do that. And yeah, if you want to come along to this thing in March, I know there's no details at the moment, but if you want to join the discovery group and hang out for a bit, please do join that. It's really going to pick up speed next month when I am back grounded ish, because obviously I've got Soul School. I love you guys to the moon and stars. I will be back with you super, super soon. And just keep me in your thoughts as I go on this next piece of the wonder, because it's a biggie. Lots of love, guys. I'll catch you super soon.